This boy was born without a brain. 6 years later, he surprised the doctors. When Noah Wall was born, he surprised his parents and made the doctors speechless. He was labeled the boy without a brain. When Noah's mother Shelley Wall was 20 weeks pregnant, she went for a routine checkup. But she was unaware of the news that would change her life. The nurse turned around to the doctor, holding a copy of the scan. The parents-to-be, Shelley and Rob, were waiting in anticipation for what the scan showed. But the nurse's expressions told them something wasn't quite right. She stood there in surprise until the doctor called her name and snapped her out of it. Slowly, she handed the scan to the doctor. When he saw it, he was equally dumbfounded. Shelley and Rob didn't know what was going on. They looked at each other and held their breath. The Walls had a happy marriage. They lived a peaceful life in northwest London with their 2 daughters. They were wonderful parents to the lovely daughters and were bringing them up very well. When they realized they were enjoying parenthood, Shelley and Rob wanted another child. Months later, Shelley was pregnant again, and the excited couple couldn't have been happier. They were delighted at the prospect of another cute baby. This time, they wanted to have a younger brother to their 2 daughters. But all their dreams and hopes were about to be shattered. Shelley and Rob had already experienced pregnancy and parenthood twice. So, they were extremely careful about the medications and health checkups since the beginning. But this checkup would not be the same. They braced themselves for the bad news that they had sensed by now. The doctor said that their unborn child had spina bifida and hydrocephalus. These conditions cause the skull to fill with fluid and the head to expand. This hugely compromises the area of the brain that controls breathing. There was a high chance that the baby wouldn't survive at all. The little one would only develop about 2% of his brain because of his condition. Naturally, Shelley and Rob didn't know how to register the news. They had dreamt of big things for their little baby. Now, the quality of the child's life would be severely affected if he survived at all. The doctors explained to them how Noah's life might be like. Reluctantly, the doctors suggested the option of terminating the pregnancy. In this case, they felt it would be the right option for both baby and parents. But of course, it is a tough choice for a mother. Shelley was devastated. This was not at all the life she had imagined for her little boy. Shelley and Rob went home and thought things over. They realized they were extremely committed to having a new baby. After all, they were completely enjoying parenthood. They gave their all and were determined to love this child no matter what. They were keeping the baby. They always remained positive and hopeful. The moment that Noah was born, he let out a big scream. This marked the exhilarating journey he was about to begin with his parents and sisters. Doctors put a shunt in his head to help drain the fluid and kept hoping for the best. Noah could breathe, eat and drink because his brain stem was intact. But the rest of it was nearly absent. The boy without a brain had a tough time ahead of him. He couldn't move from the waist down, but overall, he was a healthy baby. Noah went home after his vitals stabilized. He was going to survive, after all. At 3 years old, he had a second brain scan. That's when he surprised the doctors. It was a miracle that the baby's brain was growing. No one really knows how, but Noah was a fighter who was not going to give up at all. Noah was a happy little kid who was enjoying his childhood to the fullest. He received brain training exercises at the hospital. Through the exercises, the kid constantly kept trying, and his brain improved. Miraculously, he began to read and talk a little. He became really good at using the iPad too. Of course, challenges came in various forms every day. But Shelley and Rob continued to tackle them for the love of their son. Shelley says that Noah is the joy of the family. With all this love, Noah's willpower became stronger. I thank him every night before he goes to bed. I say, Noah, thank you for such a lovely day. I've loved my day, Shelley said. And Noah always responds, I love you, Mummy. Noah has since demonstrated tremendous and unprecedented development. By age 6, his brain developed over 80%, much to the surprise of his doctors, who had suggested termination. While he still can't walk, he has slowly learned to move his feet. The strong boy hopes to walk one day. And much to his family's delight, Noah is a funny little boy who loves to make everyone laugh. The brain is indeed mysterious, and miracles do really happen even when you least expect them. This